Today we're going to continue our discussion concerning the interaction of individuals in their society. So, why The Outsiders? Why do we study fiction and nonfiction concerning the lives and the history of people and their communities, state, or country? Well, the simple answer is that they are very relevant. They apply today with some very similar universal themes. In our study, we notice that they teach and exemplify the meaning of the word respect and other necessary character traits, those ones that we study each and every week in our devotions and our Bible studies. Number two, they tell us about the communities in which we live, and they're oftentimes divided communities. They are separated. Sometimes they're separated socioeconomically, like The Outsiders, and other times it might be by way of ethnicities. They show us that oftentimes there are certain individuals in society who are in a state of denial, and they use toughness, meanness, cruelness, and they may even inflict harm or danger as their own personal shield or deflector for the actual weaknesses that they themselves have. Some of us have read some other novels, like Bridge to Terabithia, that show characters who are bullies. And we see that these bullies actually have some serious problems of their own. What do novels show us? They show us empathy, the real ability to understand and share the feelings of other people. Most recently, we saw that in Our Outsiders, people from the opposite ends of town, opposite social groups, and these people began to share their feelings as part of understanding and building relationships. A huge one is building and preserving childhood innocence. For example, in The Outsiders, it showed the importance of preserving hope, open-mindedness, and appreciation of the beauty and the characteristics of childhood. We saw the flashbacks that Ponyboy had to his childhood when his parents were there. Children need the opportunity to be children and participate in age-appropriate childlike activities. We saw how these young people in The Outsiders were actually catapulted much too quickly into being in their negative social groups. What do the books show about the effects and the affects of the environment in which they live? Do you have to be a certain way because of the place in which you live? Does it rub off on you like dirt? Or should you have the ability to rise above? We know that that is provided by the common denominator provided in society, and that's called education. So whether you have what Ponyboy said or didn't have, richness or poorness, you still have that ability to get an education. These books that we're reading show us how people are able to overcome the disadvantages that they may have by taking advantage of education and the opportunities that it provides. Again, many people have a misconception that there is some sort of honor in being lawless. In the novel The Scorpions, we saw that throughout the book and how the characters acted and reacted, but we saw it toward the end of the novel when at the funeral, the young children were all gathered there, and they were very impressed by the fancy cars that were at the funeral provided by the drug lords. Cycle of violence. Most recently, we took a look at some video clips from the documentary 53206. And what did that show us? Well, in some instances, there can be just an overwhelming cycle of violence. And how does one shed that cycle of violence? Novels sometimes give insights to how that is possible. All of our characters displayed these things, a need or a want for individual identity. They wanted to have others perceive them as they perceive themselves, and that may not all have been a good thing. How the characters perceived other people may not have been true. Again, and that can go the other way as well. How other people look at us may not be realistic or true. How we look at other people may not be realistic or true either. Our loyalty and our friendship. What is true loyalty and friendship? If it means lawlessness and disorder, then no, that's not acceptable. Does our social acceptance cause us to lose our line, our integrity, and all of the other characteristics that we spoke about at the top of the page? And then we have certain issues that arise that are found in environments, especially smaller environments, the environments of our home life, that may cause us to lose sight of the fact of what is necessary for true success. Family issues. Again, in The Outsiders, we take a look at Dallas Winston and Johnny. School life. Regular attendance versus dropping out. Teen angst, anger. Why are you really angry? Is there something that you could do to prevent that from happening? The involvement. Do you want social acceptance, so you compromise and join groups or gangs that do not promote positive success within the community? The bottom line is our identity is formed and shaped by our moral compass or lack of. If we truly have a moral compass, then the things for which we strive are genuine and they're going to lead to success. We all need to have an opportunity for self-reflection. We can do that within our daily lives. Each and every day we can take back and we can look at the things that we did and the things that we didn't do. And we can reflect and we can say, I need to make some adjustments and I can do this or I can do that or I can use the resources at hand. All of these things are extremely important and are taught to us as we read through not only the fiction, but also the nonfiction, the real stories concerning the lives and the history of people, local, state, country, and even international. As we continue our studies and transition into our fourth unit, we want to keep these in front of us, and we want to be self-reflecting and see how each and every day within the society that's found within our classroom, what are we doing to be a positive contributor? And then also by the things that we say and the things that we do, how are we showing that in an exemplary fashion to those around us, especially those who are younger, who are very impressionable?